Hi everyone, welcome back to the Lumpy Studio, and today I am here to review Supergirl, the latest DC installment, kind of a follow-up to Superman that came out last July, focusing on Millie Alcock's Supergirl, Supergirl aka Kara. It's her movie in this new James Gunn universe in the DC world. So I had solid expectations going into this. I knew going into the summer that there would be three big superhero movies, being The Mandalorian and Grogu, Supergirl, and then Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I asked my dad, which one are you most looking forward to? And he actually said Supergirl because of how much we both like Superman. He says he thought Supergirl would just follow in those footsteps pretty well. The formula's right there to produce something really good. So he thought all the groundwork was laid for a successful film there. Now, personally, I was just most looking forward to Spider-Man Brand New Day because I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and those movies have always consistently been good. Now, for Supergirl, me personally, I thought it would be good. I didn't think it would be as good as Superman because how on earth are you going to top that? That was a masterpiece of a movie that came out last year. This I expected to be good, but not as good. I thought maybe it would be like a B. Me personally, I just kind of went into it with like mid expectations, and I came out of it pretty disappointed. There's a lot of problems with the movie, but it wasn't all bad either. So let's focus on the good, because there were some good stuff. Millie Alcock delivered an extremely impressive performance as Kara, aka Supergirl. She did a really good job with her character, portraying her as a party girl with a lot of sass, and her growing at the end, working through her trauma, helping Ruthie out, delivering the final blow to Krim. I really liked her character arc overall, and I think she did a really good job at portraying her. Eve Ridley as Ruthie also did a really good job as portraying her. At first, I was a little bit iffy on her acting, but she had some good stuff to work with towards the end of the movie when she had an emotional monologue where she was talking to Kara when she was down. So I thought she was good, especially as the movie progressed. At first, I wasn't too sold on her, but I ended up liking the dynamic that Kara and Ruthie shared as the movie progressed. I thought that was one of the better parts of the movie, and I like that they didn't rush a romance into the movie. I think it wasn't necessary for them to do, and I'm glad that they didn't. I think Kara developed more as a character by her taking Ruthie under her wing, even though she didn't want to. She did at the end of the day, and she saved her multiple times. So I did really like that. I also really like the flashbacks where we learn more about her parents. We find out that they were good people trying to stop bad from happening, and obviously her mom dying from the kryptonite poisoning, and her dad deciding to send her to be with Clark. But those flashbacks I thought were really good, and her telling her to do good, do the right thing, continuing those morals and themes from Superman. I thought they did a good job of implementing them. I mean, sure, they could have done it more, and sure, it kind of did feel rushed in there to try to give it some resemblance to Superman, but the way they did it was pretty good. I would say the flashbacks with her parents were probably the best part. Her working through her trauma, coming out on the other side of it to help Ruthie, I thought was all really good. So I thought it was a good character arc that Kara had. The way they executed it was also not too bad, but the problem with the movie is basically everything else besides the plot overall, because the movie has an incredibly slow start. The first half was pretty bad. It really didn't pick up until halfway through, once Ruthie and Kara had their argument, and then we kind of saw the flashbacks and everything. Once that hit, I thought the movie got pretty good overall, even though the final fight wasn't anything too exciting. I'd say my least favorite part of this movie was actually the editing and how it was pieced together. I thought it was a very sloppy job by the editors. I thought a lot of the fight sequences were pretty bad. There were a few, cool shots when Kara used her powers. I thought some of that was cool, but overall, I thought it was just a really poor job in the editing department. It felt like a rushed job. I also thought the fight sequences just were not good, and it felt of way too much of her just deciding to kick ass, and I think a couple of times would have been fine, but she just picked so many fights, just this over the top fights, and they just weren't very good. And the first half of the movie I just thought was really weak. Their skirmish with the Raiders, I just thought none of that made any sense. The whole plot line with the couple poisoning them, and even the plot line with the young woman using them as brides, I just felt like it was thrown in there, and it was just kind of like an afterthought. Like, I didn't think that needed to happen. I think the movie was just a bit too complex, and that was the one thing with Superman, is that I do think there was a bit too much going on in that movie. I think they could have taken away some parts of it, like the whole protests and that whole like thing with all those people, those crowds. I think some of that could have been taken away, like the side thing going on. But I think here they could have taken away a lot of this filler stuff. Just the first half of the movie. This movie is also incredibly short. It's only an hour and 40 minutes long to my knowledge, roughly around there. I think a little bit more with credits, but the movie itself, it's a really short movie, but yet there's a lot of filler. The second half was really the only part that I thought was actually decent. So that's just a problem with the writing at that point. Like, it's a movie, it's not a TV show. You have to find a way to spread it out for 90 minutes at least. That's how most movies are. Have a beginning, middle, and end. And I mean, this movie had that, sort of, but it just wasn't very well written. I think with pacing and stuff, I thought some of the dialogue was actually really good. I just think there was a problem with the pacing, and the first half is supposed to get people excited for the rest of the movie, and it just did not do that for me. It was just very poorly written, the first half. And like I said, the editing, the fight sequences, and all that were just not very good. I think they leaned too hard into Kara being a party girl. Like, I knew they would have a part of that in there because that's how we saw her at the end of Superman, that she was just like a drunk party girl and all of that. I also just didn't really like that it was Krypto who got shot. I'm like, seriously? I don't know. I think it would have been fine had she just went and helped Ruthie take down Krim. I didn't think Krypto needed to be shot, really. I mean, I like the relationship that she has with Krypto, but there was also just some cheesy stuff with the dog. It's like, it was kind of overkill in Superman. It's kind of even more overkill here. They just lean way too hard into the cheesiness of it. And the thing I was really disappointed about was Clark's role in the movie. I didn't know what to expect. I knew he was in it, and I didn't even expect to see him that much. But the role he had, I just thought was really not good. He just came across as like a corny nerd, and I know that's like part of who he is, but they just kind of went overkill with it, like they did with a lot in this movie. Like, I feel like they went overkill at the beginning with Kara's party girlness. I think they went overkill with Clark's nerdiness, and just like the nerdy cousin and all of that. And he just felt really thrown in there and just did not even serve much purpose to her, except the flashback where she arrives to his planet and she meets him. I mean, I guess that was kind of important to the plot, but beyond that, I mean, I guess at the end they have their talk in front of the iconic window. But it just, I don't know. I just didn't like his role in it. But we're going to get to see him again in Man of Tomorrow. And to me, this movie really felt like a bridge between the first Superman movie and then the sequel that comes out next year. They wanted to throw something in there to keep fans excited about this new James Gunn universe. But I didn't feel... I mean, Supergirl did develop. Now, whether we get that same development in Man of Tomorrow, I highly doubt we'll see Ruthie again. I think she was just kind of a one-movie character. Same with Krim, who I did not really care for as a villain at all. He was just like a throwaway villain. Nowhere near Lex Luthor. Nowhere near him. That... Yeah, no, that was... no comparison there. Did not care for the villain of Krim. But, I think it was a bridge of a movie, and somewhat filler. I think if we see the lessons that Kara learned carry into Man of Tomorrow, then I think I can maybe forgive some of it. But if they just don't acknowledge it at all, then it would just be a waste of a movie. Now, maybe they had to explain why Kara went from being a party girl at the end of Superman to how she's like more level headed now in Man of Tomorrow. I mean, she's apparently going to play a pretty critical role in Man of Tomorrow, which I am looking forward to seeing how she's involved in the story. So, I mean, it wasn't a complete waste of a movie. I thought the character arcs were pretty good. I like the journey that both Kara and Ruthie went on. I did not care for Lobo. I mean, Jason Momoa, I don't know. He was okay as Aquaman, but just in this, I just did not like his role in this personally. Just did not care for it. It felt like they were trying to provide some comedic relief, but it just didn't really land for me. Same way the crypto stuff didn't land for me. There were some funny lines from Kara with her sarcasm throughout, but I do think the movie could have used a bit more humor in it, but it's okay. Overall, I'd say my opinion of the movie has definitely changed over time since I saw it last week. I think I have a higher opinion of it now than I did before. I think I realized that there were some good things in the movie. It's not as bad as some people were saying, but it's also not good either. I'd say it was probably a 7 out of 10. I'd say it was a C. Maybe you could push it to a B minus, but we'll go ahead and go in. It's like right in the middle there, average score. I'd say I think it was a little bit stronger than the Mandalorian movie because I actually did have a decent character arc and some growth where I didn't really see a lot of growth in the Mando movie. I think this one had a little bit more going for it, even though it did not reach my expectations at all. And my dad said he was pretty disappointed with it too. So while I was disappointed and it did not meet my expectations, it also wasn't terrible either. I would still recommend seeing it, especially if it does end up tying into Man of Tomorrow, which I think it will. I think these three movies are going to kind of be that Superman trilogy for James Gunn. Whether he does more after Man of Tomorrow, I don't know. I think David Corenswet is really good. A lot of fans like him. I mean, it felt like his role in it was kind of fan service because people love him as Superman, and I do too. He's a really good Superman. I think Millie Alcock is a really good Supergirl as well. I didn't think she wasn't. She had nothing to do with the problems of the movie. She was really good. She carried her role. Same with Eve Ridley as Ruthie did a really good job. Those two actors did. And again, I think the flashbacks with the parents were really good. So I think there was some writing and some stuff that I think was good. But I think my issues with it were the pacing, the Clark's role in it, the overkill with Crypto, and the editing and the fight sequences, kind of all that thrown together. I think it was sloppily made in the editing room, but overall decently made with the character arcs overall. So that's kind of where I'll end my review of Supergirl. But let me know down below what you thought of the movie, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, everyone.